Ask out. To invite someone on a date. Example sentences. He asked her out to dinner last night. I finally gathered the courage to ask him out. They asked me out to celebrate their anniversary. Bring up. To raise a topic or start a discussion. Example sentences. She brought up the issue during the meeting. Don't bring up that sensitive topic again. I wanted to bring up the idea of a team retreat. Call off. To cancel an event or activity. Example sentences. They had to call off the concert due to bad weather. We should call off the meeting for today. The coach called off practice because of the heavy rain. Check out. To examine or investigate something. Example sentences. I need to check out the new restaurant in town. He checked out the information before making a decision. Let's check out the prices before buying anything. Come across. To encounter or find unexpectedly. Example sentences. She came across an old photo while cleaning her room. He came across an interesting article online. They came across a rare book at the bookstore. Cut off. To disconnect or stop the flow or supply. Example sentences. The storm cut off the power in our neighborhood. I accidentally cut off the car in front of me. The phone call was cut off before we finished talking. Figure out. To understand or solve a problem. Example sentences. I can't figure out how to assemble this furniture. He figured out the answer to the puzzle. Let's take our time and figure it out together. Get along. To have a good relationship or be friendly with someone. Example sentences. They get along well and never argue. I get along with my co-workers at the office. It's important to get along with your neighbors. Give up. To stop trying or surrender. Example sentences. Don't give up on your dreams. After many failed attempts, he gave up. She refused to give up despite the challenges. Hang out. To spend time with someone casually. Example sentences. Let's hang out at the park this weekend. They often hang out together after work. I enjoy hanging out with my friends. Keep up. To continue at the same pace or level. Example sentences. You need to keep up with the class to pass the exam. He struggles to keep up with the latest technology. The team needs to keep up the good work. Look after. To take care of or watch over someone or something. Example sentences. Can you look after my cat while I'm on vacation? She looks after her younger siblings. The nurse looks after the patients in the hospital. Pick up. To lift or gather something from the ground. Example sentences. He picked up the fallen books and put them back on the shelf. Can you pick up some groceries on your way home? She picked up a new hobby during her vacation. Put off. To postpone or delay something. Example sentences. They had to put off their vacation due to unforeseen circumstances. Don't put off studying until the last minute. The meeting was put off until next week. Run out. To use up or have no more of something. Example sentences. I run out of money faster than I can earn them. Time is running out, so we need to hurry. He ran out of patience waiting for her. Set up. To establish or arrange something. Example sentences. They set up a meeting to discuss the project. She set up her own business after years of planning. He set up the tent for their camping trip. Take off. To remove or depart quickly. Example sentences. She took off her coat when she entered the warm room. The plane is scheduled to take off in 10 minutes. He took off without saying goodbye. Turn on. To activate or start a device or system. Example sentences. Can you please turn on the lights? She turned on the TV to watch her favorite show. I turned on the computer to check my email. Work out. To exercise or resolve a problem. Example sentences. I try to work out at the gym 3 times a week. They need to work out their differences and find a solution. She worked out the math problem on her own. Backup. To support or provide assistance. Example sentences. I'll back you up in the meeting if you need it. The evidence backs up her claims. He always backs up his friends in difficult times. Breakdown. To stop functioning or analyze something in detail. Example sentences. The car broke down on the way to the party. Let's break down the problem and find a solution. She broke down in tears after receiving the news. Check-in. To register or arrive at a hotel or event. Example sentences. We need to check in at the hotel before 3 p.m. The participants checked in for the conference. She checked in online for her flight. Come over. To visit someone's place. Example sentences. Can you come over to my house for dinner? She came over to help me with the project. They often come over on weekends for movie nights. Cut down. To reduce or decrease. Example sentences. I need to cut down on sugar for my health. They decided to cut down expenses to save money. The company plans to cut down on paper usage. Show up for. Example sentences. To attend or appear at an event or appointment. He promised to show up for the team practice on time. She showed up for the job interview dressed professionally. They showed up early for the concert to get good seats. Come about. To happen or occur as a result of certain circumstances. Example sentences. The opportunity to travel came about unexpectedly. She wondered how the misunderstanding came about. They discussed how the idea came about during the brainstorming session. Turn out. To happen or develop in a particular way. Example sentences. The event turned out to be a huge success. The situation turned out differently than expected. They were surprised by how things turned out. Set off. To start a journey or trip. Example sentences. They set off on their road trip early in the morning. The travelers set off for their adventure to the mountains. She set off on a solo backpacking journey. Cheer up. To make someone feel happier or more cheerful. Example sentences. She tried to cheer up her friend who was feeling down. He bought her favorite flowers to cheer her up. They played games together to cheer up the children. Stand out. To be noticeable or different from the surrounding environment or group. Example sentences. Her creativity and talent made her stand out among the contestants. The brightly colored house stood out on the street. Their innovative product design made their brand stand out. Keep on. To continue doing something persistently or without stopping. Example sentences. Despite facing challenges, she kept on pursuing her dreams. The rain kept on falling throughout the day. They kept on practicing until they mastered the skill. Turn away. To refuse entry or deny access to someone or something. Example sentences. The nightclub turned away guests who didn't have valid identification. The hotel had to turn away additional guests due to full occupancy. The security guard turned away unauthorized individuals. Go through. To experience or endure something difficult or challenging. Example sentences. She went through a tough time after losing her job. They had to go through a long and detailed interview process. He went through a challenging fitness program to prepare for the marathon. Watch out. To be cautious or alert for possible danger or hazards. Example sentences. Watch out for the slippery floor, it might be wet. She warned her friend to watch out for pickpockets in crowded areas. They watched out for traffic while crossing the busy road. Try on. To test or see how a piece of clothing fits or looks when worn. Example sentences. She tried on several dresses before choosing the perfect one for the party. He tried on different pairs of shoes to find the most comfortable fit. They tried on various costumes for the Halloween party. Rule out. To eliminate or exclude something as a possibility. Example sentences. The doctor ruled out any serious medical conditions after the examination. They ruled out certain options during the decision-making process. The investigation ruled out foul play in the incident. Keep away. To maintain a distance or avoid something or someone. Example sentences. They kept away from the construction site for safety reasons. The children were warned to keep away from the busy street. She kept away from her toxic ex-partner. Turn back. To return or go back in the opposite direction. Example sentences. They had to turn back as the road was closed due to an accident. The hikers turned back when the weather conditions became unsafe. She realized she left her phone at home and had to turn back to get it. Dress up. To wear fancy or formal clothing, especially for a special occasion. Example sentences. They dressed up in their best outfits for the wedding. She dressed up as a superhero for the costume party. He dressed up in a suit and tie for the job interview. Hand out. To distribute or give something to a group of people. Example sentences. They handed out flyers to promote the upcoming event. She handed out treats to the children on Halloween. He handed out the test papers to the students. Turn in. To go to bed or retire for the night. Example sentences. It was late, so they turned in for the night. She turned in early to get enough rest before the big day. They turned in after a long day of sightseeing.